You know, I feel so bad, that about 4 years ago, I was 34. I'm 37, but it's been almost 4 years. Uh, you know, I kind of had this little idea in my head and kind of had some things, that was, going through my mind. And at the time, I didn't know what, you know, what was going to happen or go on, with our own families and stuff. And I kind of had a good idea that we wasn't going to see them much longer and wasn't going to be around them much longer due to all the problems and issues they were having with each other and us as a whole. And one particular day I came out and during the evening and got one of these people off of Facebook just out of nowhere came to me and wanted to come out and wanted to write me this long message. And ever since that day, and especially ever since this crack whore, for a better term, ever since she's come out here, I feel like me and my wife are backpedaling. We're not getting our way with anything. It don't. People out here, they'll offer you a ride to the store, but that's as far as it goes. And you know, I just, I don't know what else. I've put some stuff out. My wife's put stuff out. We had Twitter now, and bless her heart, she gets out there and tries. I've tried. Get these supposed celebrities out here that thinks that my wife really gives two rats asses about what they're doing. They're more worried about their money and what makes them happy. They get rich overnight, and then they're real famous, and they seem to never lose that status. Those people pretty much are for themselves and nothing else. But no, I'm afraid that I've put me and my wife in a situation where it's like I wrote out there on Twitter. It looked good on paper and it sounded good to my head. It sounds good to all of us, me and her both. It's something we want. But I told her we got a lot against us. She went out her way the other day and still hadn't heard from this person. She went out her way the other day to tell this person about our offer. And she didn't have to do. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she's like, "Well, you say give it some more time." I said, "Well, every day that goes by, every minute that goes by, every hour is that much less they're going to have." We got people that's got church stuff that they're doing. They've got all that other mess they're doing. Uh, you know, family and kids. A lot of these people don't even have phones at work. Me and my wife, it's strange, but me and my wife, always made sure we've been together 10 years and they ain't a soul that's got a phone that works. Hardly. It seems like every time we get with somebody or we find somebody, uh, they have something already cooked up, already, my wife had just said, "Oh, yeah, Derek, this one didn't have nothing." Yeah, she didn't have a man because she couldn't afford one. She can't afford to have anybody around her because she's got people that she's more worried about, and they ain't gonna be able to give her any time, and she ain't gonna be able to give them enough of her time to make ends meet. My wife and I both left a voicemail and a nice greeting, but it never rung. And the other thing is we text, several text a couple times. I didn't want to overdo it, but no, I wasn't joking when I told my wife. I said, "Man, it looks like we're going to have to go for the hoe and slut crowds or something, because there ain't no." These people out here that are too much into the holy shit, stuff, the church crowd and the crowd that we have up here is, a little over 1,600 population wise. It's not very big. It's bigger than it was, but it's still not, we're two of those. It's 1,647 to be exact. So minus me and my wife off there's two. I've got a neighbor next door, there's three. Our landlord's four, her husband's five. You got about 30 apartments up here. It's got people in it. Two or three of them had a car and everything. But, me and my wife wasn't good enough to get one of them. We got one of these people that didn't have nothing, no car, no way to get around, no way to support herself, but yet she had two little kids. And but no, my wife had said it earlier. She got on the Twitter machine and the thing, and basically got nothing. I told her I was afraid we was going to end up with one of them celebrity deals again. Hang on, let me turn some heat on. But I don't know. I told her, I said, fire. At times, I just feel like throwing stuff out, getting rid of it. But at the same time, she wants me to give it a little more time. I mean, she does. She gets out there, and it's no lie. I mean, she gets out there and she'll run an errand for me. Biggest issue that me and her both face is that we're not that old, but we're not getting any younger. And one of the other biggest issues that really compounds us is that we we really want this, and we know if it was the right person in the right circumstances, nobody that didn't have nothing going on, no extra baggage of any kind, just something fell right in your lap, somebody we could get this stuff out and move and things like that. Because me and her gets tired. We get tired of sitting here, and I know what she's going through, but I don't know where else I don't know where me and her are supposed to turn. I don't know what avenues or what other places there is to turn to much. And it's one of those things, like I said, I'm 37 now and she's 34, but we're not going to get any younger. And I'm willing to hang on for a little while longer and try it out. again and stuff. But I hate to see her have to start and stop all the time. It pulls at me, pulls at my heartstrings too. And you know, the father had to have to go this far just to get. You would think with all the more modern BS that's out here and it's out in this world, you would think, that somebody would have already came up by now, and with Derek, there's always excuses, there's it's cold out, or Derek, is this thing going and that thing is going. Well, the way I look at it, we can let all that stuff on the news tear us up and be bored and be down, stay inside, not giving nobody a chance to do anything. And we could do that. But, I say, look, we've had that almost 2 years now. We've suffered enough. If you want one of those shots, you want a flu shot, you want whatever shot you want, it's out there. You know, I you know I usually try to take the flu shot, but every time I've taken it the last couple of years, some reason or another, it gets me sick too. Usually about right after I take it. So I don't know. Like, it usually gives me like a small cold or something. But no, I don't know, but no, I wasn't kidding. And I know she and I both would like this, and I know if the chains were off and you got the freedom to do whatever you wanted to do instead of being bossed around and told what to do and how to do and everything, and you just got, instead of getting run over. I mean, yeah, we don't live in a nice looking place, as you can see, uh, but it gets old. We're tired, beat up with this, same routine every day. We might clean the house a little bit each day. We might, of course, we eat and sleep every day. Of course, it's normal, but we don't get to do much outside of a doctor appointment, maybe every now and again, or blood work. It's like my wife and I were sitting here yesterday and said, uh, what was some of the jobs that you could see somebody having that you could probably get something out of that's close to town, and I named off several of them. Cook, clerk, maybe bagger, cashier, things of that nature. But a good portion of people either already have something. Nurse was another one, but we tried that one time with one of the nurses, and just told her, didn't mean no harm by it, but it didn't go nowhere. And but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not totally out of it yet. It's just it. The older we get, the less time we're gonna have. And I want to do this and have 25, 30 years or whatever's left, 35, whatever. If it's 40 or whatever it is, I want to spend whatever's left of what me and my wife's got. We really like somebody we could talk to, get along with, and spend our life with, and talk about you know good old things, not have to worry about nobody, doing the things that's happened to us before. We want somebody we could, you know, hug a little bit, cuddle up every now and then, or, she want, you want to join in or making out or whatever, okay. You know, um, like I said, we was trying to find, we bought a nice, good ring up here. And we've got it sitting over here in a bag full of oh, other, goodies and stuff. And like I said earlier, we wanted all this to happen, and I had a certain, you know, kind of thing in my head and my mind. But no, me and my wife shouldn't have to buy y'all gift cards and money and all that other stuff. We already spent close to $1,000 in total on some stuff. And I know if she took this shit up there at freaking high school or somewhere around there, I know they'd have it. They'd be somebody fall head over heels. Why, Derek, that most of them's underage kids. Well, I know that. That's what I'm saying. I was 19 when I graduated. I was almost 20 myself. In like a month, 3 weeks. 3 weeks been my birthday when I graduated. So, as you know, luck will have it. That's the problem we have. And she goes to the church thing out here, not every day, but occasionally goes. But there's your old godly people, that always got that spiritual junk shoved up so far up their ass they can't get nothing else out of it. I'm surprised they can shit. But, it makes you wonder. Because they don't have nothing else. They don't have no time for nothing else. At least going by what they say all the time. Of course, I'm not around them all the time to see that happens. It's just what they'll say inside of the church sitting there. But anyway, it is. It's one of them things that, unfortunately, we don't have the diverse stuff, the crowds, the places to go. We're going. Oh, man. Oh, it's one of our dolls again.
No one.
Uh-huh. Oh.
His name is Jesus. I named him.
Huh?
I named him.
Oh, I thought they just named you that.
No, I want you because your mommy was the Bible. When he was a baby in a manger.
But yeah, like I said, I just told my wife that, you don't have much option of choices when it comes to, for, well, why don't you get one of your more modern phones? We don't need one. We do good for what we do got. I had one time, I had one of them freaking things where, you do like you're doing this computer like now. All it is a bunch of nonsense. Way before anything was heard of, what they call apps. I could click on it, and I didn't know at the time, like I said, this was 2008, 9 or something. This before she showed up. Nobody heard of it. Nobody knew what they were calling this shit. Now it's all over it's all anybody talks about. She tries. We tried some people the other day. We tried, went so far as to supposedly have a celebrity we were kind of into. Then we had had one of these fucking people, supposedly from Texas, but was down here in Florida and was gonna make us wait another week or 10 days, whatever it was then. And I said, this stuff just creeps on. It creeps so slow. And then you still don't know if they'll make it here. And then if it don't happen, then the fair can't help them, because I certainly can't now. At one time we did a little bit because I was working part time and had some stuff up here. I have told my wife, and then she and I talked about it. I said, if it was somebody that hands down saw one of my videos, one of hers, or ours together, whatever, and if it was somebody, we've got Twitter, we got all this other stuff, and ain't one said anything about being close enough, like Chattanooga, Athens, Cleveland, where at least we could pay whatever it was, $6 or, whatever. All of them you pay $6 and you can go. If it were Decatur, which I highly doubt I will have to take a bus to them because we're not that far, but it's $2 just to go just to town, so it's not bad. But I've still yet to get anybody that my wife either sees out in public or off of one of these sites for some reason. They never have a phone that works, but yet they give a number out most of the time. Some of them may have a phone that works, like we might got like one, we got like one text, maybe 2 or 3 at most during the day, but it's nothing. It could be random, it could be in the morning, you might get one, you might go to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe get 1 or 2 then, but you don't normally get much. I told my wife back, well, not long ago, you could, all you had to do was kind of put your stuff there. They didn't, people talk about scams and all that other mess too. Now they're more conscious heavy. So that I had one the other day. Oh, I've been played before. I had this happen to me. I think it's just something. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But you go around there and you're asking for other people's ID, and it made her mad when I said something about well, if we'd asked you for yours, you wouldn't have showed it to us. So what's the difference, basically. So no, I mean it's just stuff like that now that also goes against us. Oh, there's a bunch of pretty ones that if they're who they are, there's a bunch of them that's pretty on the outside. They just never have anything to offer inside to make, both ends work. And they don't seem to have the feelings and the they care about their fucking mamas and daddies and brothers and sisters and everything else. Of course they wouldn't, I would hope, not let them down, but in a sense, they say they want all this other stuff, but they can't even find 5 or 10 minutes to do anything. It ain't our fault you sitting there with your mom and daddy about to croak. I'd feel a lot more sorry for them if they would try to do something, make some kind of move. We just had one out here, took my wife home. She didn't come all the way up the driveway, of course, but she managed to get down there right at the end of the road. And then she pulls out. We've tried that one for the last 3 or 4 days, ain't heard a goddamn thing. And, like I told my wife, I don't know what it is. Like we've been cursed ever since about 11 months ago. And I just don't know what in the hell's going on, but it ain't looking very good, And I hate to be a downer, but it don't look good, You don't get a chance every day to have a young and bring you home, and yeah, at times I've failed to say certain things to some people, but again, you don't know what to do. You're in between a rock and a hard place if you do. say something, they probably don't like it. If you don't, then you don't know whether or not if you should have or not. And then you might have missed out on somewhat of a chance to do something. But most time when me and my wife's gotten offers, it's been a lot less. And usually it gets turned around, and usually the other people they're already fooling with already gets all their time anyway. So what's the hell is me and my wife sitting there for? You know? Entertaining anything these people want done, no matter who it's been, for whatever reason. Like I told her, there's a lot of people who wants that part-time BS. We don't want that. We've had that. We know what it feels like, and it stinks. You know, we thought, hey, it's just somebody out here, you know, didn't have nothing going on, hardly anything. Maybe it's like me, or her, where we've had like a part-time thing, but we can get home in a couple hours and not be too tired and too worn out, but just kind of be ourselves. I don't know how it's going to come or what's going to come, but, with or without a job or whatever. But no, I wasn't joking. I said, we need a hoe train out here or a freaking strip club or something. But we don't have. So all them people would have paid attention to you. But they ain't nothing out here like that, She was out in all them other states, and probably had a lot of that stuff up there. That's where a lot of these fucking hoes and a bunch of these other people came from. A lot of times. Because they're more freely to come out up there because there's a lot more attractions, malls and theme parks and beaches and all that other stuff. You get out here in Decatur, Tennessee, and you realize real quickly what it is. It's a little old country. There's no, hardly any. But one thing I can say, it is kind of good, but also in a way, if you really like me and her and you realize what this fucking shit is, after you've been here a while, it's good in some areas. Like it don't really get cold here. We had no tornadoes here. She's been with me 10 years. I've been up here almost my whole entire life. I've never seen not one. We've gotten close once or twice, but never had it up here directly. We had the closest one I can remember is Athens 4 or 5 years ago. We don't get snow that much. We get probably about, an inch, maybe 2 inches at most. And usually it's just enough, like I say, put on the ground and call school off. We, 93, we had the blizzard that my wife wasn't here for, but, it's well known. Just ask people that still live here, old William, and a lot of the people know. That wind was blowing like nobody had been. She'd have thought we was in one of them other states, like Colorado or somewhere where it snows a lot. They supposedly, and back at that time, and Paul Burris, I think now is retired, but back at that time they said they didn't know that was coming. I'd have to go back and watch. I'm sure it's on the YouTube here somewhere. But the only other big snow that we had, and it wasn't a blizzard, but it was a little bit before my wife met me, but this was more modern time. It was about 2008, 9, somewhere in there. It's when I was over at the other apartments, and it snowed about it was about probably 7, 8 inches. That's a lot for here. It wasn't a blizzard, but it still took about 3 weeks to get all that snow melted. But it didn't knock the power out. But the blizzard in '93, it knocked the power out. We had wood stove, and Papa had a wood stove, and we had some. I had oatmeal cooked on the wood stove. It was that hot, so we could cook on the wood stove. But we had oatmeal. I had oatmeal in the morning. We had Dot up there with us. and Darren was up there with us at the time, and yeah, we had to go back. That was a week. We had to go back home, and it's like poking along trying to get down there. It took us hours to get down there. That snow was all up and down every road you went on. We went all the way from up to come from Decatur down all the way down to, I can't remember. There's two different ones. Etowah is one of them. Went all the way down through there, and I mean it was like that everywhere. Got down there in McDonald, Tennessee, and is where we practically lived at that time. After you got through Etowah or Ottawa, I can't remember which. But, you go down through one of them. Well, then you get down there in McDonald, Tennessee. Boy, it was doing it there too. I've been there. I was there one time and had a small earthquake one year that we were there. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but it was a small one. It wasn't a big one. It was just a little small one. You could tell it was an earthquake because the stuff would shake in the house. But no, unfortunately, I've never had anything big or anything bad. My wife's probably got, because she's traveled. She's probably been in a few. I've been in some. One time we was coming back from Oak Ridge, and my granny and me was in the car, and it was pouring. All of a sudden, it poured down like I don't know what, where you couldn't see. It wasn't a tornado or nothing, but it was just real heavy rains. We had to pull off the side of the road. It got so bad. I remember that one, that big kind of thing. But one time I was over at Sonic, and the wind blew over there and blew so hard and blew the power out, and it come big like a storm. So I had to go inside, and we stayed in there till it quit and everything could come back on. Luckily, it didn't take but a few minutes, and that it passed through. But yeah, the wind up there in Sweetwater, which ain't very far from here, at times it could cut you in two up there. And at times it does get a little bit more. Down here it's usually always calm and stuff. So, but yeah, our biggest thing, we have what we need. Restaurants and small little wee things like that. But it's kind of hard to get these people motivated around here to do nothing but what the norms are around here. And a lot of people just don't have feelings for people like me and her, and that we're handicapped. We don't really get to tell these people that much. And once you get me started to talk, I'll talk. But it is kind of one of those things that she does sometimes. I have at times. I've gotten on there. I think we wrote down many names. Still got them over here. But it is tough to see what we've been through, and if one person had the time to sit down and listen, it wouldn't be nothing too bad. But it is tough. Trying to work somewhere, and you always get mistreated by somebody, the bosses and things. We've been through that, both we have, and no, it's like I said, there's no reason for me or her to really work. It's not like it's going to change much or nothing. Yeah, there's a few new people, of course, but everybody always offers something. It's always for some reason, I can't work 2.5 hours or 3 hours and go home. Huh? Oh yeah. Well, there ain't no telling about that, cause
I'm trying to get a hold of him. He's just being an asshole.
but anyway, well, I'm gonna get off here and let her do all that. I think I'm up here, ain't gonna be on here. All right, well, we're gonna head on.